Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson. I'm on BrightShine, live right here in the city of Memphis, County, State of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, October the 6th, 2019. The time 3:53 a.m. First day, thanking all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement support. I'm continuing I'm continuing to keep myself employed right here in Memphis. I'm trying to stay here. I'm continuing to further my education in Monroe College online to continue to pursue my social media study, being administrative, concentrated market. At the present time, I took a break and going to school, but in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College online to continue to pursue my social media study, being administrative, concentrated market. Back in 2009, 2010, I was a student at Remington College right here in this Memphis tri-state area. And I was enrolled in this medical building and coding class. excuse me, the congestion. Excuse me. And I graduated with a diploma, but they didn't offer the certification included with the tuition. You know what I'm saying? So without the certification, you can't be employed in the healthcare field. You know, so this year, January 2019, I enrolled at this school called Health Tech Institute of Memphis in a medical assistant program. Now the reason why I enrolled, that was the reason why I did it, because like I said, I was at Remington College and I didn't get my certification, but I did did some research, and I considered like Concord, National, and other schools. You know what I'm saying? All I wanted to do was just get my certification, as you can see. and that's all I was concerned about, just get my certification. Because I could have went back to Remington College. I was a student there before, but with the large campus and things like that, I really didn't want to be around a whole lot of people. And you understand, I just wanted to to get my certification and go on. And so I like I said, I looked at the Concord School. Yeah, it has a campus and it'd be a lot of students around. So I was like, well, I really just wasn't interested in being, like I said, being in a crowd and just having people just coming. Because sometimes people come to school for a short period, then I leave, and then I consider national, and like I said, I just didn't want to be at this one of these schools with this campus and then have all these people coming to the school, especially mainly women. Sure, nothing personal, but I just didn't want to be involved in all that possible confusion. And so I was looking for a little small school where I can just go to school every day and just work on getting my certification. Then once I get my certification, just move on. And so I went online and I came across this school called Health Tech Institute of Memphis. And so I looked, and by me by me being a person who was born and raised right here in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, when I seen where it was located, I was like, well, I drive by there. I know Vance Avenue is. So, I took some time and drove by that. I ain't never go to the school, but I drove. I know where it was located, so I looked in between two churches and everything. And then, I don't really just, hang around and, I didn't rode the bus before. See, like I said, that's really why I know this area. Like, there's been times I done rode the bus, and there's a bus route that goes through the area. And so, like I said, I was familiar with, I knew where that school located. So the school in between two churches, and I went back online and I looked at the website, and I just knew someone. When I looked and I seen it, I kind of overlooked them. I kind of looked at the curriculum. I'm serious. I looked at the curriculum and I was like, well, keyboard and And I said, well, excuse me, that's something I just didn't never learn how to do. Learn how to type. So I was like, I do keyboarding, and I mean, because I never learned how to type, but keyboarding was one of the subjects in the curriculum. So I, in order to get my certification, and I looked at them. I looked at this website school, and I kept looking at the curriculum. I was with keyboarding, and then have medical terminology and Microsoft One and Excel. Because I was looking at the curriculum and trying to overlook them. I give myself familiar with Microsoft and Excel and do my keyboard and my medical terminology and so many hours and in each subject. I'm talking about, I looked at the curriculum. I was like, well, that's kind of what I really need, because keyboard was really one of the things that because I never learned how to type. So I was like, well, sure, I can put some time in, and by the time October come around, I've been have a basic with this keyboard and stuff, learn how to type. I never learned how to type, so I can get some keyboard in there. And I said, well, then I kind of looked over there and looked at them. I seen this man, and I was like, and you kind of and I just knew, man, anytime there be some women around and a man be around, day class, night class, I had to, because mostly I was looking at my position, what I'm trying to do. So I was like, well, I just want to get my certification, so I stopped working in the warehouse. My main concern was to get my certification, then get in the healthcare field, so I won't be in these warehouses no more. I don't want to ride no forklift no more. I don't want to unload no trucks no more. I don't have nothing to do with no warehouse. So get my certificate on keyboard and Microsoft One, Microsoft 2, medical terminology. I said, well, curriculum, and I looked at them and I, just work on my certification and just kind of overlook these people and, just get your certification and then just move on. Because I know it's going to be some stupid, and just like I figured. See, I live in the city of Memphis. I don't go around asking people about nobody, I find out for myself. And so I can go to the school and get enrolled and, you find, when you get to know people, you see what, you see how people really are, and just some damn no good scam out of some crooks. This is the oldest scam in the world, scam the federal government and the state government and the local government, excuse me, the taxpayer money. This student aid and, this financial aid stuff. You got to fill out your FAFSA and, they're scamming the government out of, trying to make it sound like you got some kind of school over here and, some kind of scam with the federal government and state and local government. But I said, well, if I got to get some kind of certification, then I, just be able to get a job, a 9 to 5, then, well, I gonna go to this school. So I started going to the school. Then when I first started, really wasn't nobody in the day class. It was just me and just maybe 2 other people. Then one of them died. So it was just really me, and just basically that's what I really wanted, just myself. And so for about a month or 2, it really wasn't just nobody in the school. It was just me. I was basically the only student for a while. Then the other students started showing up, females, and And like they say, the rest is history. And this nut walking around there, like you said, like they always saying you finally see people for what they really are. When some women start showing up, then you really start seeing what people really are, what they really about. And that's what the situation is now. You see how I be coming every week. I try to let you know, and just a freaking nut trying to rape women at the school. And then when you expose them, then he call himself trying to be smart. That's what he doing now. He trying to be smart. Call himself gonna try to instigate an altercation. Then after I exposed him on that, now he trying to be smart. Had the nerve to try to tell me I'm the famous guy. Now he don't want to say nothing. See, when you expose these no good people, that's what they call themselves trying to do, try to be smart. But it's just a matter of time before you end up in jail. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. You're gonna end up in jail. Excuse me, whatever. That's where he belong, in the jail. Him and his daughters belong in the jail. I mean, if you had been a student at the school, you would be an eyewitness, seen and witness what I witnessed, then you'll be saying the same thing. If I had knew then what I know now, ain't no way. And then, I'm glad now that I'm at the school for this reason, that I can be a part of one of the people that's been helpful in putting him in the jail where they belong. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's where you belong. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself, because it ain't nothing that I'm doing. See, this every day that when some women be around. See, when I was at school, see, this is how I show people the difference. Like I said, when I started in January, it really wasn't nobody at the school. It was just me. And it was just this middle-aged woman. And she died. Just being honest, she died. She had some type of sleep apnea condition. She died. So then it just left me and this other female. And she was a former student. And then she'd be absent all the time. So basically it was just me. That's why that's the point I'm trying to make about how you see people for what they really are. They try to hide what their agenda. Then when other females start showing up, then it come out. See, then it comes out. Then you see what they're about. And you'll see them, women trying to rape other women. You see what they're about, man. I promise. Women trying to rape other women. I promise. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Then got some dude walking around, just a damn nut. And it's just a matter of time before they go to jail. It's just a matter of time before they end up where they belong, in the penitentiary, federal penitentiary, state penitentiary, wherever they going to jail. They're going to jail. And the thing I'm glad about, that I was, instrumental in putting them where they belong. And so that that's the situation where we at right now. The nut, he done came out in the open, and now that he been exposed, now he trying to be smart. He been exposed being a rapist. Oh yeah, that's what he is. He trying to rape women. Him and his daughters trying to rape women, trying to lure women to the school. Now he been exposed. Now he trying to be smart. So that's where we at now. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Now, I want to make a correction. I know we've been, talking about Chicago and everything. I made a mistake, honest mistake, not intentional. When I said fluky William, that was a mistake. What I meant was, William Fluky Stokes, William Fluky Stokes, and that's Fluky's thing. And the situation, about respect, Chicago and everything, the influence, you know, and how all this devil worship on the East Coast, and people coming from outside the country, these old school these secret societies from the old world, you understand, European, African, Asiatic, the old world, and these secret societies, and these ancient people that who were devil worshiping. Just be honest, devil. You read your Bible, turn to the Old Testament. Matter of fact, got my Bible right here. Now here we go. Now we're gonna turn over here to the book of Exodus, and just one example. The king, the Pharaoh of Egypt, was a devil worshiper. Not the first one, but now let me see here. Right. Okay. Here we go. We're in chapter 1. We're in chapter 1, the book of Exodus. We're going to start reading at verse number 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man in this household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Excuse me. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob was 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren and all their generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, When ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be his son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared God, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. The king of Egypt called for the midwives, and said unto them, Why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born you should cast into the river, and every daughter ye should save alive. Devil worship. Devil worship. And then also we could turn back to the book of Genesis, and we'll talk about and it talks about Jacob. It talks about Isaac and then his son Jacob and the wife with the images and things, devil worship. With those images, devil worship. So it's devil worship. See, people have been doing this stuff for a long time. And you see them old world secret societies, they take information from those devil worshiping people. And they time is okay. And they use it. And see, that's them old world secret societies. Them old world secret societies. See, when people be outside the United States, like Africa and Asia, Europe, so on and so forth, and down in the Caribbean and Central South America, see, people be moving around, traveling, devil worship. Them old world secret societies. People worshiping the devil. And so, like I said, it was Chicago. Like I said, it was an honest mistake because we just like talking, just like we doing now, just talk. And we were talking about Fluky and I don't know, Fluky William, but it was an honest mistake. Willie William, Willie Fluky Stokes, Fluky Stokes, and as you know, he was murdered. And him and his driver was murdered by this dude supposed to be his bodyguard. And it was some stuff going on where after Fluky's son Willie the Wimp Stokes was murdered at the hotel by these two individuals. And see, that stuff come from the East Coast and stuff. People be outside the city of Chicago and trying to get influence. And see, you ain't got nothing to say to nobody. So, that's where it come from. See, it'd be that devil worship. It'd be devil worship. You think somebody on the East Coast is over you, but they ain't got no reason to be saying nothing like that to you or to me. But then, people trying to live around the city of Memphis, telling they from the East Coast. You ain't got nothing to say to me. Tell me you from the East Coast. You ain't got nothing to say to me. I know what it is. Devil worship. I already know. You think you got some information that don't nobody know nothing about. Well, I know what it is. Devil worship. And so that's really why I was talking about Fluky Stokes. Is because the respect people had in Chicago for each other, first of all, and because irregardless of what a person do or don't do, it's the respect people have for each other, and so when you don't show respect, and then you think that you got something to say, and you just gonna disregard other people, and then you just gonna walk all over people. Well, people tell themselves, things, and that the things happen. It's just like with Fluky's son, Willie the Wimp. He was at the hotel with a woman. And so, I understand that too. He wasn't one trying to do anything, but he was at a hotel with a woman. So, and then these two dudes come to the hotel and murder this man. Being disrespectful and trying to claim whatever the reason, you know what I'm saying? To kill Fluky's son like that, and for the years that Fluke and them was in this being from the city of Chicago anyway. When people do things, you can see the way you do things. It lets me know that this couldn't have been, when people do things, I know that it was some outside influence. It was some outside, because people just don't do that. Because first of all, Fluky, being involved in what he was involved in, you just didn't do that. People already being killed, and this what I'm talking about. People already murdered. People talking about they want to get in the business, get in the game. Well, it's some dead bodies. That's what I'm talking about. See, when people do things in Chicago, some people in Chicago and some people in Chicago did, but when you do something like that, just like Fluke's son at the hotel with a woman, was the woman involved? People ask questions, like the woman that Fluke's son was at the hotel with, did she have some involvement in set him up to get killed? You see, just like with Fluke Stokes Sr. was murdered, him and his bodyguard were murdered. Where was he at? Well, when people ask, when you find out about the murder, you see where he was at. He was outside this woman's house, or in the neighborhood. This other woman. Well, did she have him set up, or did his wife have him? You see what I'm talking about? See? But when you find out that the people who was involved, his bodyguard was involved in, and then somebody said it was some allegedly that Fluky tried to kill this man named Bay. And the black pea stone, all this, the El Rukins, because Bay was instrumental, he was involved in the Black Pea Stone Nation, getting together with each other, and so and it was an attempt on his life, and it was allegedly that Fluky tried to have him killed. And so retaliation, see, this is what I'm talking about being in Chicago. When people do things in Chicago, see, but then something like that, it don't just be people in Chicago, it see, it be them people from outside. It's just like when Fluky had the meeting with this man, supposed to be a competition. It was something that he was doing with some more people who was outside this country on the East Coast. Then there was this other individual who was involved in some supposed to be competition. You see, things like this come up because people tell themselves that they know something and you don't. And so they feel like they got an advantage. They feel like devil worship give them an advantage over me and everybody else. Just like out there in Los Angeles, California. Some people from the East Coast moved out to Los Angeles, California. And just like they had what was their white stacks. And you seen Jesse Jackson and from the East Coast, and some more people. Then you seen Rufus Thomas from Memphis, and the Barcades from Memphis, But out there in Los Angeles, at the white stacks. But they ain't show y'all, then they showed all the people out in the audience and all that. There was a lot of people from the East Coast living in Los Angeles, that so-called blood gang and Crip gang and all that, And so, that's how all that got, then the Stones out there, the Stones be out there in Los Angeles, and so on and so forth. But see, like I said, people tell themselves they got an advantage with this devil worship. That's the reason why you see, look around the city of Memphis, you see some people from the East Coast call themselves living around the city of Memphis, then they over there in Arkansas and Mississippi, in the tri-state area, there be some people call themselves trying to live around other people in the United States from the East Coast because they feel like they got an advantage. Devil worship. And so and then they do all this evil stuff, and then instead of people putting them in their place, and they call themselves trying to let them walk. Well, consequences and repercussions of disrespecting me as well as others. But this is so-called devil worship. This so-called devil worship. And there's severe consequences and repercussions. And because I ain't trying to let you do nothing. You ain't got no advantage over me. Never have and never will. And I really don't give a damn about no devil worship. I really don't. As far as I'm concerned, you can go to hell with the devil. Just because that's what the devil is. And then, as far as I'm concerned, that's where the devil worship belongs. You can go to hell with the devil. But I'm not running. I'm not scared of anything. You really get me upset. This so-called devil worship. What I do to you, I put in work on it and then kill you. That's what I feel about devil worship. But matter of fact, hold on.
Hustler, one who makes money.
An attempted cop killing. A drug house shootout. And a violent bank robbery. Gang of dangerous criminals threatens an entire community. The FBI and an undercover ex-cop put their lives on the line to track down the
Hustler, one who makes money. Real short and real simple. When you respect the game, respect all that comes with it. Extortion, bank robbery, and hustlers. But gangster is a little bit of all. Those that take it from the ones that make it. And when it came down to making it, Fluky Stokes was that nigga. Hands down, and cards up. Just depending on what side of the table he was on.
I don't even know what drugs look like. I never used them or did them. I don't even drink. But I've been...
Since the early days of Chicago's gangster history, everything was built with structure. Some would argue that this was instituted by the mafia, notorious, organized, and involved in any and everything that involved money. However, because of nationalities and ethnicities, and surely racial boundaries, a black's earning potential was limited. Limited to petty crimes and drug abuse, encouraged to be subservient with serve, sent off to war only to be killed, injured, or maimed. And while America allowed the migrations of other countries' criminals, blacks sat beneath the tree and on cotton fields and watched. The picture scene were learned and imitated and instilled flash, fame, and flamboyancy. And also, Fluky Stokes to be exact. The baddest motherfucker south of Mississippi. Understand Fluky was really a country nigga at heart, raised with principles, values, and integrity of a man. Not a for the time being man, but a man who believed in work, getting, taking care of your family, and holding your own. That value system, seldom seen today. Take for example rapturous names like Lucas, Barnes, Alpo, is what made him different and made him real. Proud to be called hustler, proud to be a father, a leader, and to some, Lord. Drug lord, some might say, but nevertheless honorable. So honorable, in fact, he raised boys who stood amongst men who would fall victim to the pressures of that time. Heroin and cocaine would break the strongest of men, even though they were gangs to influence unity and neighborhood pride of that time. Organizations like Gangsta Disciples, the Black Keystone Rangers, the Vice Lords, all black, all strong, but all without Fluky.
I don't even know what drugs look like. I never used them or did them. I don't even drink.
It takes a hell of a man to look you in the face and say he ain't do it, or does it. Depends on who you ask that question and where you're asking it at. Just try one of America's jails, and every prisoner would say not guilty. For various reasons, they'd likely say a lot, but then they ain't the only ones to say anything. Since the days of Fluky, there would always be two sides. What we would say and what they would say. But which side would you believe?
Willie Fluky Stokes was a chameleon of sorts. To many, he was like a Robin Hood, giving to the poor, to the
So like I say, when I said Fluky, we even have a mistake, honest mistake, Fluky Stokes. But see, it's about respect. It's about respect. And all that devil worship, no respect at all for you. Don't accept, don't approve, and don't allow devil worship. Now, I'm gonna do my Instagram, and then after I do my Instagram, I'm gonna do my Facebook Live. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, the county seat of the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, October the 6th, 2019. The time 4:36 a.m. Say thank to all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement support. Anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. First, always give thanks to God. Always give thanks to God for all the blessings and the guidance He provides us all with. Now, I'm going to continue to complain, going to continue to speak out. People saying they are gang plus stir. People saying they are mob plus stir. Williams, Webster's Third New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary give you the complete and total definition meaning of the word gang, mob plus stir. People say they're a boss, they're a goon, they're a thug, they're a crook, they're a hoodlum, they're a mac, they're a player. People say they're a pimp, they're a whore. People even say they're a hustler, they even say they're a nigga. Field nigga, house nigga. It's street slang. Now, when it comes to music, street slang, examples, hip hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, doo, wop, bebop, funk, and street slang. When it comes to money, example, street slang: bucks, racks, stack bands, bread, dough, scratch, loop, move. Benjamin dead president is street slang. Ain't nothing official, ain't nothing right about no street slang. You know, it ain't nothing but street slang. It ain't nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. You know, we can go to the quick reference, Wikipedia. We can find street slang and stuff like that. But when it comes to street slang, you have to remember, see, everybody not on the same education level. That's and so when you say street, just like saying gang and mob, somebody saying I'm a gangster, or mob. You hear how I pronounce the word. But see, some people have been denied education, just like here in the United States of America, African Americans were denied education for over 300 years. Over 300 years of slavery, oppression, denied education. The only thing you were taught was what the slave master taught you, to be a slave. That's all the slave knew, to be a slave. And then see, the slave master when he tends to say gang, mob, thug, crook, hoodlum, mac, player, they'll say all that around you. But when you're not around, see, they'll speak, all this other stuff when you're not around. But when they're around you, see, they taught you to be a criminal, a slave. And being a slave, they taught you to be a criminal, hustler. And so when it comes to, just like I'm saying, I graduated high school, got a few years of college. I haven't taken the ACT or the SAT, but I have a few years of college. You understand? Yeah. And so when I pronounce these words like gangster and mobster, boss and goon and thug, people hear me pronounce these words and that, I say it. And, I read the dictionary and I know what it means. Then you had these people who then graduated high school, got a GED, and then they go on to college. Then you had these other individuals who graduated high school and they took the ACT and the SAT, and then they went on to college, joined the sorority, joined the fraternity, and so on and so forth, and the sorority and fraternity. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, the pre-13 college history. That's the reason why it's so important. Harvard University, the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693, is the second oldest institution of higher learning. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December 5, 1776. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851, West End College in Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874, Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York. Then you had the first women's fraternity in DuPont College in 18-something. And that's the basis. And the basis of the sorority and fraternity, old world secret society. For example, the Freemasons. They talk about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt, 1390, 1425, mentioned in the Holloway manuscript, the Regis poem, and the Cook manuscript. Yeah, also the Dowling manuscript, and then you got all these secret societies. Example, these secret societies: Skull and Bone, Rosicrucian Sons of Liberty Thug Society, the Pride Scion, Ordo Templarian, Knights of the Golden Eagle Woodman, the ancient Arabic order of nobles of the Mystery Shrine, the improved order of Raymond P.O. Sisters, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, the Elks, the Lower Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Python, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forest Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veil Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, United Order of the Golden Cross, United Ancient Order of Druids, the National Grain, the Ancient Order of Hermannans, the Opus Dei, the Ordo Templis Orientis, the Knights Templar, the Scottish Rite, for example. The Spanish Garduna, the Carbonaria, the Black Hand, Mafia. You say Mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. You say Cosa Nostra, that's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osirica, just a few, some more. And so, don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Now, because as you know, the sorority and fraternity, they commit crimes on and off the campus. Hazing is a crime. The United States Department of Justice, hazing is a crime. They're criminals. They use hazing in their initiation, but they're criminals. The sorority and fraternity, they're criminals. They're not trying to do nothing right. They commit crimes on and off the campus. They use and abuse tobacco. They indulge in gambling and games of chance. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activities. They indulge in sexual deviance. Don't be misled by the sorority fraternity. Don't join the sorority fraternity. Get out of the sorority fraternity. Discourage others from being members of the sorority fraternity or being involved with the sorority fraternity. Expose the sorority and fraternity. Matter of fact, denounce all those persons that started or initiated, the sorority and fraternity. Them old world secret society, the sorority and fraternity. Renounce the whole, renounce them and denounce the whole concept. Denounce the whole concept. There ain't nothing right about no sorority fraternity and them old world secret society. Denounce. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. This is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. This is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. This is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. This is the International Federation for Human Rights. This is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. This is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. You got some more organizations. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline, Defending Human Rights Without Frontiers, the International Service for Human Rights, Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Associated Rare Species Conservation, Civil Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, the Rainforest Action Network, Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Boards, Earth Watch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Justice Conservation Volunteers. Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Ocean Preservation Society, Ocean Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance, and there are many more organizations such as the one we just mentioned. And so, don't be misled by this sorority and that fraternity, and they being influenced by them old world secret society, because the sorority and fraternity, as you know, they work for, and they work and manage the businesses, the companies, and the corporation, and they commit, and they use and misuse the background check, and they commit crimes against humanity, atrocities that violate human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, discrimination, harassment. They pollute the air, the ground, the water, as well as noise pollution. They destroy the environment, they destroy the nature, they destroy wildlife. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity like they trying to do something right. No, they're not. They criminals. Now, as I've been stating, they devil worship. They devil worship. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, he's a liar, a murderer, the devil. He wrote all those epistles. He was lying. It's devil worship. And all these man-made religious organizations, they be using those epistles that he wrote. And one of the verses that they use, Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the holy kiss. The church with the suffix is of Christ salute you. Another verse that the man-made religious organization used is Saul from Tarsus, self-proclaimed Apostle Paul wrote, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix is, church is, of God, for your patient favor, all your persecution and tribulation that you endure. this is a list. This is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. Now, state names: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Now I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom where it says list of place names of indigenous origin in the Americas. Now, as you know, the pirates and piracy, it's devil worship. It's devil worship. Now, as you know, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Juvenile Justice, Delinquency Prevention, the Bureau of Justice System, the National Gang Center Bulletin, and its title, History of Street Gangs in the United States. Written by Mr. Jackson Allen, Mr. John P. Moore. Now you can find this same information and on the quick reference Wikipedia in this title, Gangs in the United States. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. Now I'm gonna get ready to end my Instagram video. And after I do my Instagram video, I'm gonna do my Facebook Live video. I just ended my Instagram video, so now I'm doing my Facebook Live video. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement and support. Anti-gang. Anti-gang. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. Now, remember these words. Remember these words. Coercion, coerce. Sexual coercion. Psychological coercion. Psychological manipulation. Psychological abuse. And I'm going to continue to complain. I'm going to continue to speak out this street slang. People say they're a gang plus stir. People say they're a mob plus stir. And William Webster's Third New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary, give you the complete total definition and meaning of the word gang, mob, stir. People say they're a boss, they're a goon, they're a thug, they're a crook, they're a hooligan, they're a mag, they're a player, they're a pimp, they're a whore, they're a hustler. People say they're a nigga. Field nigga, house nigga. It's street slang. You're not official writing about no street slang. When it comes to music, hip and hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, doo-wop, bebop, funk, street slang. Ain't nothing writing on the, ain't nothing official, nothing writing about no street slang. When it comes to money, street slang, bucks, rack stack bands, bread, dough, scratch, loop, motor. Benjamin dead president is street slang. Ain't nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now, don't let that sorority and that fraternity mislead you. Now, when it comes to street slang, you know, some people, you know that the United States have a history of slavery. Have a history of slavery. You know, for over 300 years, African Americans been denied education. So say gang, mob, plus stir. See, the oppressor didn't give you no education. The only education the slave had was the education that the slave master gave. And that's what the slave master taught you, to be a slave, to be a criminal. The slave master, slave, say gang, mob, and stir around you. And you will repeat what the slave master said. Gangster, mobster, boss, master, goon, thug, crook, hooligan, mag, player, pimp, whore, hustler, nigga, field nigga, house nigga. You repeat what the slave master said. See? You repeat what the slave master said. And so I graduated high school, got a high school diploma, got a few years of college. Some people didn't graduate high school, got a GED. And some people with a GED, they go on to, earn a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, associate's degree. Then you had those people that didn't graduate high school, took the ACT, SAT, earned a associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, so also the sorority and the fraternity. Now that pre-13 college history is really why it's so important. Harvard University, the oldest institute of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. William and Mary College, founded in Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693, is the second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December 5, 1776. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851, Wesleyan College in Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874, at Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York. The first women's fraternity was founded at DuPont College in 18-something. The basis of the sorority fraternity is them old world secret society. For example, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, and they be talking about Euclid, the mathematician Neil Alexander Eden, 1390, 1425, mentioned the Holloway manuscript that reads the poem, the Cook manuscript. The Dowling manuscript, now examples of the old world secret society. Skull and Bone, Rose Screw, the Sons of Liberty, Thug Society, Private Science, Order of Temple Oriental, Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Women, the Ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystery Shrine, the Improved Order of Men, the P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, the Elks, the Lower Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Bethesda, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forest Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veil Prophet of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Prophet, the United Ancient Order of Druid, the National Grain, the Ancient Order of Urban Nans, the Knights Templar, the Opus Dei, the Scottish Rite, so on and so forth. The Spanish Carduna, the Carbonera, the Black Hand. You say Mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. You say Cosa Nostra, that's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osiris, it's just a few. And so, don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. The United States Department of Justice, hazing is a crime. And you know the sorority and fraternity use hazing in their initiation group and devil worship. Devil worship. They commit crimes on and off the campus. They use it and abuse tobacco. They indulge in gambling, games of change. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activities. They indulge in sexual deviance and pride. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Don't be misled. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Get out of the sorority and fraternity. Don't join the sorority and fraternity. Don't be involved with the sorority and fraternity. And expose the sorority and fraternity. Renounce all those that was involved in starting sorority and fraternity, that them old world secret society. Denounce the sorority and fraternity. The whole concept of them old world secret society. Denounce. The sorority and fraternity, they work and manage the company's businesses and corporations. They use and misuse the background check. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocities. They violate human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, and water, as well as noise pollution. They destroy the environment. They destroy nature. They destroy wildlife. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity of old world secret society. Don't be misled. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. Now, this is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. This is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Now there's some more organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline, Defending Human Rights Without Frontier, International Center for Human Rights, the Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Voters, Earthwatch Institute, Conservation Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, Wildlife Conservation Network on Endangered Wildlife Trust, the Biodiversity and Nature Conservation Association, Rare Species Conservation Center, the Wildlife Research Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the International Rainforest Conservation Organization, the Rainforest Alliance, Rainforest Action Network. Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, the Oceanic Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, the Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. There are many more organizations such as the one we just mentioned. That was just a few. And you know, they trying to stop and end all the crimes with the sorority and fraternity, them old world secret society that they commit. And so don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. And these old world secret society, don't devil worship. Devil worship. Don't be misled, it's devil worship. Now the United States of America, the United States government, they enacted the Organized Crime Control Act of 1997 and Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1997, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, the RICO Act, is anti-gang. The Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1997, the Controlled Substances Act, the Psychotropic Substances Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, Kingpins Act, these are anti-gang. The Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention, as well as other related legislation. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention, and the Comprehensive Gang Model, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Office of Justice Program in the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance in the United States Department of Justice, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Project Safe Neighborhood, The United States Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Police and Service Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention. The United States Department of Justice Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assist, the International Narcotics Law Enforcement Affairs, the United States Department of State, the Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistance Education and Training, the GREAT Program. The United States Department of Justice Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention. In October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which had been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which had been funded by the Bureau of Justice since 2003. The National Gang Center compilated state laws against gang, the Gang Prevention and Old Drug Research Program, Mr. Jackson, Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention. The United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistant, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Links Prevention, National Gang Center book title, History of Street Gangs in the United States. You can go to Wikipedia, the quick reference, and you can find the same information titled Gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice Office of the United States Attorney Manual 1457 Criminal Street Gang Statute 18 United States Code 521. The United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center. The United States Department of Justice, the Organized Crime and Gang. The United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section. And then there are other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategy, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the National Institute of Justice, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Change and Course, Preventing Gang Membership, and also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice, the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention Forum. You go to youth.gov and be informed about it. The National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention Forum, as well as the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative and the Comprehensive Gang Law, the United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs, the United States Department of Justice, anti-hazing. You go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. Now what I'm gonna do to keep from having the video, know if I let it go and run, it'll be too long. It'll take too long to upload. So I'm gonna have two videos. This is gonna be part 1, and then it's gonna be part 2.